Hello, sports fans. It's me, Sportsman Z, and today I am doing a video in response to a viewer request. She is a woman who's been a longtime fan of the Washington Redskins and is now part of the long-suffering fan base of the Washington Redskins, who have been in sort of a free fall and have had a lot of bad luck and have not been a really solid winning team for years. And you can trace that back, you can sort of trace that back to the beginning of the Daniel Snyder era for the team, although the 5 years prior to the Daniel Snyder era, the team also was not very good then. But as you can see on this chart that I've got right here, the Washington Redskins lifetime record is 600 wins, 590 losses, and 28 ties, and that's current as of the 0-2 record that they have right now. Daniel Snyder bought the team in, I think they said it was March of 1999. And from the 1999 season to present, the team is 139, 182, and 1. And they have only been to the playoffs 5 times in that 20-year span. However, one of those years was the year that he bought the team, and so really probably he didn't have anything to do with that first year going to the playoffs in 1999. But the last time that they were in the playoffs was 2015, and the time prior to that was 2012. So you're still looking at 4 years since they've been to the playoffs. And if they don't make it this year, then it's 5. And, Redskins fans have come to expect better than that. She talks about how, and also there was an article written recently about how the Redskins don't sell out anymore. But she said it used to be that they sold out, you couldn't get a ticket to the game, and there were a ton of Redskins fans. Well, she went to the game on Sunday, and she said you could actually count the Redskins fans. But there was no way you could count the Dallas fans because there was just too many of them. They were everywhere. But you could actually count the Redskins fans, and there were empty seats. So, yeah, the games no longer sell out. And also the article that was written said that the game was one of the lowest rated local games of the week in, various local markets. That was one of the lowest rated ones. Although I was doing my part because I actually did watch the game on TV. So, that and also another point up here on the board is that the Redskins, since Daniel Snyder has bought the team, have had 8 head coaches in 20 years. So that means that each coach is only around for about, on average, 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons. And I think that if the Redskins' problems are going to be addressed, the first thing, and because we know that Daniel Snyder has historically gotten his hands right into the mess and, tried to fumble around with this team and make it better. But he's not a football guy. He doesn't really know anything about football. He just knows that he likes it. Like a lot of us do. I mean, would any of us be a good general manager? And see, that's my point. The first thing Daniel Snyder needs to do is hire a respected general manager that knows what he's doing and allow that general manager to do his job. That means hiring all personnel, front office, everywhere, even the lowliest, even the whatever, errand boy. Let the general manager hire all personnel involved at all with the team and let him have full say in all of that. The second thing they need to do is that they need to decide on a coach. Right now, Jay Gruden is in, I don't know, his maybe third or fourth year. They need to decide on who their coach is going to be. And they have to keep that guy. And they have to stick with him. And they have to live and die and jump on the sword with him. And let him institute his system and let him run the system the way that he wants, and to have a lot of say with the general manager in the type of personnel that they get, so that he can get personnel that are suited to his system. And the general manager needs to buy into the system that the coach wants to run. It has to be organization-wide. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to run it this way, and things like that. So, like for instance, right now they've got the quarterback is Case Keenum. But is Case Keenum really their long-term solution? Is he their guy? Probably not. I mean, I would guess not. I would guess that their guy should be Haskins, because they drafted him out of Ohio State and they were high on him. And if Haskins is their guy, they should put Haskins in there, and they should institute a system around Haskins that is suited to Haskins' talents to try to make him as good as he can possibly be. And if they did that and continued to, in drafts, in trades, bring in players that could continue to complement Haskins, then they would be going in the right direction. Right now, I don't think they're going in the right direction, because they're playing Case Keenum to try to win games when they're 0-2 and they're playing the Bears on Monday night, and they should lose to the Bears, although we'll see what happens. We'll see if Case Keenum can beat the Bears. But it's a good bet that he'll lose that game, and that the Redskins will lose that game. As a team, that they'll lose that game. And then they'll be 0-3. And then at 0-3, are you ready to make the decision with a good team like the Eagles in the division, and the Dallas Cowboys, both excellent teams? Are you ready to say at 0-3, hey, let's give this ball to Haskins, let's see what he can do with it, and let's see what we need to do to build around Haskins and to make this team as good as it can possibly be? Because what's been going on here obviously has not been working. And what's been going on here is coaches in a revolving door, quarterbacks in a revolving door, all sorts of players in a revolving door. And that system does not work well. Now, don't get me wrong. There's other teams that have had their problems. God knows, I'm a Bears fan. And I have suffered quite a few years where the Bears only intermittently get to the playoffs and are never really never really a threat, never really a juggernaut. Now, they finally have what looks like a great defense, but they still have offensive problems. So, I mean, there's other teams that are going through something like this, but you can trace a lot of these problems probably right to the owner, Dan Snyder. And if this keeps happening, the Redskins fan base is going to corrode. They're going to lose interest. People won't even watch on TV. And then there's going to be, then Dan Snyder's really going to have big problems. I mean, if he wants to keep making the money, he's got to put a quality product on the field, and he has to hire quality people, quality football people, and he has to let them run the team. So that's my take on what's going on with the Redskins. And it can be fixed, but Daniel Snyder has to step back and let football people run his football team. Now, he's been a little better about that in the past, couple of years, 2 or 3 years. I mean, Gruden, I think, is in his third year, and their coaches average 2.5, so he's already, beaten the spread. But they need to do more of that type of thing. And I'm not saying that Gruden's the right coach for the job. I'm just saying find the right coach and settle on him and give him time to do his system, and then see if he is the right guy. So anyway, that's my take on the Washington Redskins. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Pass the word about the channel. Let's get the word out there. Got some other projects coming up pretty soon, and I'll be doing videos on those later. But for right now, it's Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.